Well, it's no secret money is very tight for a lot of folks right now. People are scaling back on necessities and not buying frivolous things at all. So where does Valentine's Day fit in on all of this? Is the holiday getting shortened or shorted by the bad economy? Are there ways to say I love you without having to also say, but I'm broke? John Shumway, live now with more on this. So, John, here's my question. Suppose somebody like me was able to broadcast it, literally saying, Gina at home, I love you. Am I off the hook?
No, I'm afraid that doesn't quite work, Keith. You actually have to go a little bit further than that. And the business about telling someone you're broke, the bottom line is if the person is that close to you, in all likelihood, they already know that. And I got to tell you that a few minutes ago, this aisle was packed with people, and it's just the quirks of television that as we come on, there wouldn't be as many people behind me. But what I will tell you is the greeting card industry says they're down probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 10%. Although as we checked around today, it sure seemed like there was an awful lot of Valentine buying going on. A downturn in the economy? You'd never know it at Christopher's Flowers in Green Tree.
They're coming in, they're buying.
But are they spending as much? Maybe not. But they better not let it show.
They go cheap, they're going to get yelled at and get hollered at and probably not have a good evening, a good dinner made for them.
The florist industry is aware of the tightness of budgets and is adjusting.
You can go from a simple, $4 or $5 rose, a single rose, which can be very beautiful, especially right in the mall. Going home.
They can use a little bit of purple down here, too.
On Penn Avenue in the Strip, the air and the business were brisk.
I come once a year, for my wife, I got to do it, I'm going to buy some flowers.
You can't scrimp on your loved ones. That's too important.
There's a waiting list for Valentine packages at the Renaissance Hotel. While they offer the $300 deluxe model, there's also the trimmed-down version.
You receive chocolate turn-down service and breakfast the next morning, along with a red rose.
And that one costs?
That one is at $199.
And it comes with free access to the temporary Chapel of Love in the August Wilson Room, where a judge will be presiding.
If you're just stopping by on a whim or coming through for dinner, there will be a nominal charge to go along with it.
And will the judge be dressed as Elvis?
I don't believe so. I think that's my part.
Oh, and before we leave the topic of love savings, the recession has been good for some sales, with volumes nationwide increasing each of the last 3 months. At less than $10 a box, cheap entertainment? Perhaps. Or
it could be, on the other hand, if you're not using your prophylactics, maybe it could be pretty expensive entertainment.
And on this, my son's 23rd birthday, I'll vouch for that part. Now, if you're going to be using the Chapel of Love down at the Renaissance, you don't need to bring your own flowers. Pittsburgh Petals took care of that. And in talking to a, shall we say, a frugality expert, probably the best way to go if you're really, really tight on money is some sort of a card. But be careful about picking out a card. Make sure you spend a lot of time to think about exactly what it says and that the thought is appropriate. People can see right through an inappropriate card or one that you just went in, grabbed, and ran. The other thing is, if you really are strapped, something homemade hits home. And it shows that you do care and that you've taken the time to think about the person and to do something for them. It could be a homemade card. It could also be a homemade gift of some sort, and even baking something of all things. But the main thing to remember is whoever you are honoring on Valentine's Day, in all likelihood, they already know what your financial situation is, and they love you anyway. Live at Robbins Hallmark in McIntyre Square, John Shumway, KDKA TV News.